Welcome back to the channel where we explore, learn, and theorize about the Marvel Universe. Today I'll be breaking down the 4th episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so if you haven't watched it yet, or if you don't want any spoilers, then don't worry. You can watch the first half of the video normally, where I'll be talking about why the 90s animated Spider-Man isn't appearing in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2, and a new website from Madripoor that hints at mutants appearing soon, and then I'll let you know when the spoilers are coming. If you're new to the channel, or even if you've been watching for a while, make sure you subscribe because more than 96% of you guys aren't subscribed. And if you think you're subbed, double check because apparently there's a glitch where people are getting unsubscribed from certain channels. And remember that a subscription is free for you, but it really helps the channel a lot. And you can always unsub later if you want. Now let's get started. A couple days ago I covered that Christopher Barnes, who voiced Spider-Man in the 90s animated cartoon, could be reprising his role in Into the Spider-Verse 2. However, it's since then been debunked by the series producer, who said that is absolutely false, and it's honestly a shame. But with the amount of characters supposed to appear in that movie, I can see why some wouldn't make it. Next, a website was found called Explore Madripoor, which while it doesn't currently have anything new, because Marvel deleted it all, and I'll get into that in a second, it's still a great way to promote the show and learn more about Madripoor in general. And I wouldn't be surprised if Madripoor plays a larger role in the future, with the introduction of Wolverine and the Mutants, which was again already hinted at on this website. So basically, if you weren't aware, the Brass Monkey Saloon, the bar that Sam, Bucky, and Zemo went to in episode 3, is actually owned by Patch, or Wolverine in the comics, as Patch is the name that he goes by when he's in Madripoor. But before it was all deleted, there were actually mentions of Wolverine's son Daken, as well as Mystique and Krakoa, the home of the mutants. And lastly, the 4th episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier just came out, so if you haven't watched it yet, or if you don't want any spoilers, then click off the video now, as I'll be breaking down the 4th episode and covering all the Easter eggs. So once again, there will be major spoilers ahead for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 4. But before we start, Marvel released the full-length version of Zemo's dance, which is in the bottom right-hand corner for your enjoyment, but don't let it distract you too much from the rest of the video. The episode starts off right where episode 3 ended, with the Dora Milaje. Ayo tells Bucky that they have 8 hours before they take matters into their own hands and recapture Zemo. We then cut back to 6 years before in Wakanda, where the code words have been removed from Bucky's brain by Shuri, and Ayo is able to speak the commands to him without them having any effect on Bucky. Back at Zemo's house in Latvia, the team learned about Carly's most recent attack, the one where she blew up the GRC facility. The team then set out to find Carly, and Sam, given his background of helping soldiers, wants to talk to Carly to stop her. Sam and Bucky aren't able to get any clues at the camp, but Zemo gives candy to some kids and finds out all the information he needs. Now I know that the world changed over the past 5 years, but come on, it's common knowledge and taught by all parents to not take candy from strangers, especially if they walk towards you singing. It's just a little weird in my opinion, but it moves the plot along, so I'll ignore it. Bucky asks Zemo what he learned, and as any smart person practically being held hostage would do, he keeps the information for himself until it suits him. This causes Sam to call Sharon, who's able to track John Walker, which will come into play later. We then switch over to Carly and another Flag Smasher, who were retrieving the hidden Super Soldier serum, and we see that they had about 8 or 9 vials left. On their way to Mama Donya's funeral where they hope to find Carly, the team is stopped by Walker, who insists on joining them. Sam says that he's going to talk to Carly by himself, and John gives him 10 minutes. Now Sam is getting through to Carly, and it seems like she's starting to see the error of her ways. However, Walker is impatient and rushes in, which leads to Carly seeing Sam as an enemy and running away. Walker had previously handcuffed Zemo, but in his rush to capture Carly, Zemo was able to escape and runs into Carly himself. He then shoots her and she drops all the Super Soldier serum, which Zemo destroys, except for one, which John Walker later picks up and takes off screen. We then transition to an injured Carly who gets a message from the Power Broker that mimics Liam Neeson in Taken and says, "I will find you, and I will end you." We then transition back to Zemo's house, where through their government connections, John and Battlestar are able to track them, and they intend to arrest Zemo. However, luckily for Zemo, the Dora Milaje reappears since the time is up, and just 3 of them are able to absolutely wipe the floor with Sam, Bucky, Walker, and Hoskins, which allows Zemo to once again escape, only this time for good. Sam then gets a call from his sister who was contacted and threatened by Carly. She gave him a location and told him to come alone. However, Bucky of course says that he's coming too. Carly seems angry at first, but later accepts it and talks with them both. That is, until Walker tries to take on the Super Soldiers by himself. Thankfully, Sharon was able to track them, and a race ensues between Sam and Bucky and Carly, which results in some super awkward super running from Bucky. Now this next part really confuses me. I don't know a lot about military tactics, but it just doesn't make sense to have Lamar Hoskins, who doesn't have a shield or Super Soldier serum, go up the stairs first. I mean, he only has a bulletproof vest, whereas Walker is Captain America and now has a serum in him. And that's exactly why he's almost immediately captured by the Flag Smashers. Walker tries to find him, and after fighting some Flag Smasher ninjas, he runs into Sam and Bucky, who go along with him. They find Hoskins and a huge fight breaks out between the Flag Smashers and everyone else, until Carly shows up and punches Battlestar into a pillar, killing him instantly. And if you didn't think that John Walker was violent enough in the show, you got exactly what you wanted in the next scene. Walker goes full-on US agent and brutally murders one of the Flag Smashers with a shield in a scene that mirrored Iron Man and Captain America's battle in Civil War. But let me know what you guys think about all this. Did you like this episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier? And what do you think about the Explore Madripoor website? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you'll never miss another video. Thanks for watching, and remember to wash your hands and stay safe.